Well, good evening, everyone. 2016 has been a year of the unexpected, hasn't it? A year that many things have occurred that few would have predicted. Leicester City, 5,000 to 1 outsiders winning the Premier League. As much probability of Gary Lineker presenting Match of the Day in his underpants. Britain, or perhaps Scotland, producing a world #1 at tennis. Ed Balls, starring on Strictly. But perhaps more sobering news as well this year. Who'd have predicted that a British MP would have been brutally murdered on her way to a constituency surgery? Or that Brexit would become the word of the year? And then there was Donald Trump. It's been quite a year, hasn't it? And probably if I spoke to all of you too individually, I'd hear many more things of our own lives this year which have been unexpected too. Things that we'd have never predicted at the start of the year, things that which we'd have never seen coming. Some of which have been great and brought great joy, the new relationship, the new job. Others maybe which have brought great pain and great sadness. The sudden loss of someone dear to us. The breakdown of a marriage. The shock of a serious health diagnosis. And at this time of the year, as we write our Christmas cards or write that dreaded Christmas circular letter, I still haven't written mine yet, we often find ourselves looking back, don't we, and reflecting on those unexpected times, those unexpected things that have happened over the last 12 months. But also at this time of year, we look back and we listen again and we retell a story which itself is full of the unexpected. A story which proclaims that God is in the midst of the unexpected things of life. You see, the Christmas story is one that you could never have made up. One you could have never predicted. In the words of a certain New Zealand little boy, they'll never be expecting that. The story that we know so well, and that we've heard again today, speaks of the all-powerful God, the God of the universe, becoming a powerless, defenceless little baby. It speaks of the God of all creation, the King of Kings, the Prince of Peace, being born to an unknown peasant, teenage virgin. It speaks of that special baby's first visitors, not being the VIPs and the social elite of the day, but being a bunch of smelly shepherds, the nobodies of that insignificant town, who the angels first chose to appear to. You see, it's a story so unlikely that many have dismissed it as just that. A cute story to get the children to dress up to at the annual nativity play. Something to make people feel better at Christmas, but not something to take seriously. And of course, if you read on, the story gets even more unexpected, doesn't it? This baby Jesus growing up to be a man who performed miracles, who healed the sick, who walked on water, who turned water into wine, who calmed the storm, who declared, "I am the way, the truth, and the life." And then the man who was brutally then killed on a cross, and 3 days later reportedly rose from the dead. Why? So we're told that somehow through that death, that we could have life. And somehow through that death, that we could know forgiveness from our past and become reconciled to God again. You see, it's a story so unexpected, so unlikely, that it couldn't really be true, could it? And yet over the centuries, many have believed this unbelievable story. That the all-powerful God became a powerless little baby. Many have not only believed, but have had their lives transformed by this Jesus whose birth we remember today. And some people have even died for those beliefs. You know, many have spoken of how through encountering this Jesus, they found peace. They found freedom from addiction. I was speaking to a guy this morning who was telling me actually when he found Jesus, his life was transformed from a life of addiction. People have found and experienced a deep love and a hope that they'd never found before. And you know, one of the real privileges of my job is journeying with people as they discover the unexpected, as they encounter for themselves the God who longs to know them, the God who gave up everything for them, the God who came that first Christmas in the person of Jesus. A few months ago, someone wrote this to me. They said, the God of my childhood was tied up with me being a bad person and needing to do better. I associated Christianity with guilt, not love. But through coming back to church and doing Alpha, I found that God was real. That he loves me just the way I am, and that he made me exactly as I am for a purpose. I love it. I can't get enough of it. I feel like I've come home. You know, the Christmas story is full of the unexpected. It's a story which speaks into the difficult and unexpected things of our present world and of our personal world, and declares that God is not distant, but that he's with us. That God is in the process of putting everything right. That God's a God who passionately loves us and wants us to come back home to him. That God's a God who uses the ordinary, unexpected people like you and like me to do extraordinary things. Maybe you've been a Christian for a while, but you've been so caught up in the doing that you've lost sight of the wonder and awe of this story and of your Saviour. Maybe you're someone who's known the reality of this story in the past, but life has just taken over lately, and you've allowed this Jesus to be confined to the annual school nativity play. Or maybe up to now you've weighed up the probabilities and dismissed this incredible story as far-fetched and irrelevant, and just a cute story for the kids at Christmas. Well, in this year of the unexpected, I invite each one of us to look again into the manger, to look afresh at this incredible story, and investigate as the shepherds did on that first Christmas the news that was proclaimed, that the all-powerful God became a powerless baby to rescue us, to save us, to demonstrate God's great love for us. You know, you might just be surprised at what you find. You might just find that the unexpected really did happen. After all, Leicester City really did win the Premier League. Donald Trump really is going to become President of the United States. And maybe, just maybe, you too will find something unexpected in this baby Jesus that will transform your 2017 and your life for all eternity. Let's just pause and have a moment's quiet. Could it really be true? Maybe God is wanting to show himself to you today and to say, I'm here, I'm real, come home. Lord God, we thank you that you came as a little tiny baby all those years ago to show us your great love, to rescue us, to bring us life in all its fullness. Help us this Christmas time to look once again into the manger and to see you and to give our lives to the God who knows us and cares for us and loves us.